So as I categorically stated in last week's review, I did not want to watch Battleground, and by God, I didn't fucking watch Battleground. I had no intention on watching that filler pay-per-view. I didn't give a shit about it. I didn't care about it. As far as I'm concerned, what happened on that show is in history. I don't care about it. I don't want to talk about it, and you're not going to get any thoughts on Battleground from me in this review at all, as I may usually do after pay-per-views like that. And I just didn't care about the show. And as far as I'm concerned, I just want to move on to Hell in a Cell and then Survivor Series, which will hopefully be a bit of a better pay-per-view than it has been the previous couple of years. But I did watch the main event of Raw with Big Show getting fired in the opener via Stephanie McMahon, and then him knocking out Triple H after being unemployed and having nothing to worry about. And I can't help but feel, I mean, this was going to happen eventually over time. They've been building this for a couple of months now. The Big Show was just going to crack and was going to knock someone out. And they've finally gone there with the Big Show character. And the way I see it, I think a certain actual boss of the company may have plans for the supposed boss of COO of the company, Triple H, down the line, and he may be getting involved with some best for business stuff, which I may also talk about throughout this review as well. You can comment on this week's edition of Smackdown or my review of Smackdown down in the comment section below. Let's get on to the opener. You know, it really annoys me when the WWE make their heels, you know, beg for matches with baby faces to not happen. I mean, you got Del Rio begging Vicky Guerrero for the match with John Cena that's happening at Hell in a Cell to not happen. It just makes the WWE's heels look so weak that they have to beg for a match not to happen because Cena is coming back. Yeah, we all know John Cena is going to win, but at least have the heels put up some kind of fight against Cena rather than having them go through every single means to try and get out the damn match. I don't know why. Maybe it's a way, maybe WWE think this is a way of getting heat, but it just annoys me when heels beg for or try and do anything to get out of the match with the babyface they know they're going to lose to. Oh my God, oh, shame. And then we have this awkward scene where Del Rio kisses Vicky Guerrero, and I had to look away from the segment. Ugh. And then Damien Sandow came out to kind of save the segment, and we kind of got a main event match between Damien Sandow and Del Rio made, which actually ended up being the hour main event of the show. Once again, it shows how irrelevant the World Championship is right now, which I'll go on to later. And to be honest, going into SmackDown, when I heard about Del Rio Cena, I was interested to see what filler or what they were going to be doing with Del Rio while Cena was out. Well, it seems that they wanted him to put him up against the Money in the Bank winner, briefcase holder Damien Sandow this week on SmackDown. I'll be talking about that later. Oh yeah. Curtis Axel versus R-Truth can be summed up in 3 words, in my opinion. Fuck this match. Did anyone else Google Los Locales when they saw that they were going to be like the jobber tag team against Los Matadores on this week's edition of SmackDown? You know, I had to. I was just like, where has this tag team come from? And I kind of recognized Ricardo Rodriguez, but I was like, who's the other guy? And I was like, of course, how did I not recognize it? It's Tyson Kidd. So you had Ricardo Rodriguez and Tyson Kidd jobbing to Los Matadores, you know, a tag team which I'm kind of enjoying right now, especially with the obviously fake bull and everything. That's kind of funny, but I just found it funny that Ricardo Rodriguez and Tyson Kidd had like a sort of luchador gimmick tag team called Los Locales. I just found that kind of funny, actually more funny than actually watching Los Matadores and how entertaining they usually are. Natalya, Caitlyn, Eva Marie with JoJo, who is apparently being banged by Randy Orton right now, versus Brie Bella and the Funkadactyls. Well, what do you want me to say about it? You guys know it's a fucking Divas match. You should know what I'm going to say about it, really, shouldn't you? So in the hour main event of this edition of SmackDown, we had Alberto Del Rio versus Damien Sandow. And you know, generally, in my opinion, babyface versus babyface matches, you can pull off. If you both have strong characters, when the crowd are very behind 2 characters, they're very easy to pull off because the crowd will have someone to cheer for, and eventually they'll start cheering for the other, and blah, blah, blah. They're good ones to pull off, but heel versus heel matches, you need something a little bit special in order to pull matches like that off. You know, a good example of this is Aries versus Bobby Roode. Well, Aries is kind of a baby face anyway that the crowd like, and Roode is kind of that character as well. So you kind of get an interesting reaction when you have a heel versus heel match, Roode versus Aries. But Damien Sandow versus Del Rio really didn't have that. It's 2 very obvious heels in the WWE going at it, and I just wasn't really interested. I mean, I like the Damien Sandow character, don't get me wrong. Del Rio is just boring as fuck, and I'm tired of seeing him in the World Heavyweight Championship. I swear he's been in the World Heavyweight Championship picture for a year straight now. I swear. And I swear we never ever see him out of the World Heavyweight Championship picture. You know, you talk about same old shit. I want Del Rio out of the fucking title picture that's why I'm hoping John Cena does win a Hell in a Cell. I'll go on to that in a minute. Why is Damien Sandow losing every match he's in right now? Every time I see a Sandow, I'm just like, well, he's going to job. He jobbed to Santino Marella, and he even jobbed in the pre-show match against Ziggler, who is still in the doghouse. I don't know, it's just stupid how WWE have their money in the bank when they lose. I mean, at least have them win a couple of matches. I'm just saying, you know. But one gleam of light here was that Damien Sandow had a pretty competitive and quite a long match against the champion, which makes him look quite good in the process. And Del Rio won clean, as he should do here, really, because if he's going to be facing John Cena down the line, he needs as many clean wins as he can get, people. I'll just say that. Anyway, as for my thoughts on Del Rio versus Cena at Hell in a Cell, looks like Cena is coming back early, and a lot of people aren't very happy about this, and I understand that, but we all know why John Cena is back early. You know, while many of you think that Raw has gotten a lot better over these last 2 months, and, you know, not seeing Cena on TV has been quite good for a lot of people, at the end of the day, and I know you guys hate it when I use this word, ratings, but at the end of the day, ratings have been kind of low. They have. They've been quite low, and WWE want to get their cash cow back as soon as possible. Now, where is this match going? You know, where is this whole Del Rio versus Cena thing going? And, you know, Cena, you know, I guess this is all about Vince coming back and going against Triple H, and I guess Cena will be the World Heavyweight Champion, Orton will probably be the WWE Champion, and then Daniel Bryan will fade off into the background like he was probably going to all along. And it's amazing, isn't it, how John Cena is the one and only person who can return to TV and get a title shot immediately, and you just know that John Cena is going to win. You just know there's no way John Cena is going to return and lose. So we all know now John Cena is going to return and beat Alberto Del Rio for the World Heavyweight Championship. But, a good thing about this, actually, is that it kind of brings a little bit more relevancy back to the World Heavyweight Championship. You know, lately you've been seeing World Heavyweight Championship on Smackdown, of all places, like after the opener or before the hour main event. It hasn't really had much relevance, but at least if you have John Cena holding the World Heavyweight Championship, even if it is a short reign, which I don't think it will, at least it'll be a big name holding the World Heavyweight Championship, and you can have it in main events that way. And, you know, it just, lately, this championship has taken a massive backseat, and maybe John Cena is the guy that can bring it forward a little bit. That's the only real silver lining I can see about this, but I understand why they're bringing Cena back. You know, I don't like it that much either, but at least I can sit there and say, you know, I understand why they're doing it. And I hope you guys out there too, before you go on your usual rants about John Cena. You know, when I saw the Primetime Players, I was like, yeah, Primetime Players, here we go. And then I saw Carly. And then I saw 3MB. And I was like, next. I don't care about this match anymore. What was this news I was hearing about Drew McIntyre getting a character change? You know, maybe I should not be reading dirt sheets as much, really. That's probably the only thing I can take out of this match. I love the Primetime Players, but only 2 out of the 6 people in this match I gave a shit about. I'm sorry, I just don't give a shit about this match when only 2 people out of the 6 I actually give a shit about. I'll say this about Hell in a Cell. They've at least got the WWE Championship and World Heavyweight Championship match announced for the show on the first week after the Battleground pay-per-view. Is Hell in a Cell in 3 weeks? I'm guessing it is, because WWE have this obsession about putting 2 or 3 pay-per-views in the October slot, which is ridiculous in my opinion. But the main event of the show is going to be Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton, with the special guest referee being Shawn Michaels inside a Hell in a Cell. You know, after the last 2 finishes that Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton has had, hopefully, I'm hoping for a decisive finish here at Hell in a Cell, and maybe one last match at Survivor Series, or some kind of team match or something if they're going to continue it onwards. But Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton it needed to happen. There needs to be some kind of definitive finish here. And having Shawn Michaels as a special guest referee, you know, it adds a little bit of story. You know, he's had his differences with Randy Orton. He's friends with Triple H. He's had loads of history with Triple H, DJ Generation X, etc. You know, he trained Daniel Bryan. So there is lots of story, little elements here and there, and I wonder if Shawn Michaels has been there to add a little bit of star power to this main event. I'm guessing that is the reason why. So this should at least be a good main event match to Hell in a Cell. So the main event of SmackDown this week was Cody Rhodes and Dustin Rhodes, aka Goldust, versus the Wyatt family. And I was immediately like, you know what? That is a good idea for a match. That is a good idea for a feud down the line. You know, that's what immediately came to my mind when I saw this. You know, you've got two relevant to semi-relevant tag teams. Yes, I know the Wyatt family have lost a little bit of direction lately, but Cody Rhodes and Dustin Rhodes and the Rhodes family are on a hell of a roll right now. Probably the highlight of Battleground, in my opinion, from what I saw from reports and reviews, etc., was the Rhodes family getting their jobs back, etc. They're on a massive roll. So you have two tag teams, a face tag team I care about, a heel tag team I care about. The match immediately got my interest, and it got me thinking, you know, damn, I'd love to see this match on a pay-per-view. I really would. You know, if it wasn't for getting it on free TV, I would love to have seen this match on pay-per-view at some point down the line. I'm just saying. So, and also, this is the first time I think we've seen the Wyatt family in like a longish competitive match. Generally, it's jobber matches. So, I was interested to see how they were going to do. The match itself was okay. It was nothing special. It was more really focused on the character. I was really more focused on the characters in there, which to me are a big reason why I pay attention to a match, which is why I like NXT a lot. That has a lot of characters that I can really care about, whereas there's not so much of that on the WWE roster sometimes, the main roster, Raw or SmackDown. Cody Rhodes, as he should have done in my opinion, gets the roll-up win. And you know what? You know, this is the kind of win where it doesn't make the Wyatt family look too weak, but it gives Cody Rhodes and the Rhodes family a win going forward, which is what they needed after Battleground, because they're on a roll of a lifetime right now. And I hope this does great things for my boy, Cody Rhodes. Don't forget, he's my boy, Nature Girl. He's my boy. I'm the number one, Nature Girl. You're number two, Cody Rhodes fan. Let's just get this straight, girl. Was anyone else also surprised that we didn't see Randy Orton or Daniel Bryan on the show in a match or a segment or something this week? You know, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying I'm used to Orton or Bryan main eventing SmackDown, and you know, it was good this week to have a different kind of main event. The Rhodes brothers versus the Wyatt family. That's something different. It's what I want to see more from WWE. Different main events here. But being able to put this character or this tag team in a main event and hold it like that rather than, you know, just Daniel Bryan and Orton all the time. That's a good thing. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying. But I want to hear your thoughts overall on this week's edition of SmackDown and the early build-up to Hell in a Cell, as I talked about here. The big news being John Cena is back and Vince is going to end up ruling over WWE. Well, maybe, unless, you know, Orton and Cena happens at WrestleMania and Triple H, you know, gets his way, which may happen, I don't know. And they need some star power for that, because they're not going to have Rock this year, so they can't just rely entirely upon Rock. Man, WrestleMania 30 is going to be an interesting WrestleMania. There's talks of bringing the Hulkster back this year as well, which... that would be interesting. All the marks, you know, going on about Hulk Hogan when in TNA they'd be moaning about it. But anyway, that's another topic for another day. Thank you very much for watching this review. If you have, I hope you had fun watching this. Comment your thoughts down below and goodbye.